level.
Well, franchising, if you take a look at the franchising statistics, they're on the rise. More people are going out and trying to do things on their own. And this is a clear sign that entrepreneurism and being self-employed is not dead. And America is not, in the deepest hole that, and I think
there's a record amount
honestly,
of entrepreneurs today.
Why?
There's a what? I didn't hear you.
There's a record amount of
Why?
entrepreneurs
Oh,
today.
well, every business meeting I go to, all of a sudden I hear this new term. I'm in transition, and I have my own consulting firm. Well, that means you're unemployed, and you're trying to find, permanent work. And I give all those people that are out there looking for stuff, it is hard to be out there right now and to try to figure out your own way. More and more people are turning and putting their own shingle out there. It doesn't show in the statistics. I mean, new business openings are down dramatically, but there are people that are actually out there self-employed. They're just not registered. You're just not hearing about it in a legal format. There's a lot of stuff going on that's not quite made it on the radar yet that the government is not seeing, and I see as a positive.
With franchising and starting small businesses or buying businesses, people are really creating jobs. And they're really buying jobs from themselves because they cannot get back into the job they used to have. And so many people lost their jobs in financial services. They're not going to be able to get back into that tomorrow or next year. So they're buying franchises.
I'm glad you're bringing this up because a friend of mine, a good friend of mine who I had lunch with yesterday, his name is Evan Bloom. He owns a Sir Speedy franchise with 2 other partners, okay? This is no ordinary Sir Speedy. They do a tremendous amount of commercial printing jobs and marketing jobs, and they were just actually named Franchisee of the Year. So they're up there in terms of Sir Speedy. They have an industrial building, et cetera. And I asked him how, what question would he want to pose to this panel, and he said specifically, there are so many people unemployed, so many people lost their jobs. Could this country ever generate enough jobs to help these people get back on their feet? What do you think, Russell?
100%, absolutely.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. I don't know what the percentage is. Let's say it's half. The script has already been written. As bad as we think it is, and as bad as these past couple of years, and right there, it's not a couple of years. We've been on the downside of things for 5+ years. We're out of the recession, because if we're not out of the recession, I don't exactly know where we are right now. It's been that long and extended period of time. I believe that on a nationwide basis, and this is just one example, works projects. Okay, we have a interstate system right now that is in desperate need of repair. Okay,
It's good for the trucking business.
it's good for the trucking business. It's good for labor. I know we don't want to get into unions. It gives us a shot to take it, rip it away from the unions, privatize it, create jobs that way. You're talking about work throughout the entire country. You have job creation availability in our most recent areas of disaster alone. We could create jobs down there. Our youth and talent is leaving Long Island. We're not investing enough in their education here and their technical training here to make sure that we can retain them. We need to have a bigger industrial base, a bigger manufacturing base, and we need to make a commitment to Long Island because I think we're getting lapped.
Well, the small manufacturers that are still existing in the region are doing a great job. I met a gentleman, his name is Scott Rose from Rose Fence Company. Probably all of us sitting here had our fences put in from them. He doesn't buy his material from somebody else. He extrudes his own plastics. He figured out a way to build a model here, and he sells his product to all the other fence manufacturers in the region. So it's still being done here, but nowhere near on the scale that it needs to be to consider it a productive manufacturing base in the region. I look at my own client base, and we've got nearly 3,000 customers. I pay almost 80,000 people on a weekly basis at the payroll company, and you look at the statistics, every year it goes down little by little in the manufacturing side, and we're a group of service businesses servicing each other. And I'm not saying that's a horrible thing, but this country was built on manufacturing. While all those manufacturing jobs are now going to Mexico or overseas, and your customer service might be in India and someplace else, not to take anything away from the need of those countries having good, solid jobs, it's important to keep it here. But we can't solve that today, can we, Mitch?
We could start by considering what kind of technology we can purchase to help us keep some more jobs here and employ people who are white collar and educated jobs. But I agree with all of you. I don't see how the manufacturing base comes back. I do see auto manufacturing, other things are coming back, but I think it's maybe more the result of a giant inventory restocking from the last few years. I'm not really convinced that the increase in the PMI, the ISM numbers for manufacturing have been coming up strong. But I'm not sure if this is really a trend or the cyclical bounce before we.
You mean
head
you mean
back.
the worldwide numbers of manufacturing looking fairly positive?
I'm
Is that-
talking here in the United States.
Okay, and well, I mean, I
The
saw the
Institute
same
of Supply
report you.
Management, they came
I saw
out
the
with a
same
better
report
than
you did.
expected number. So manufacturing looks a lot better, but there's still an endless sea of capacity in China. And you know what? China is becoming expensive for companies to do business in today. People getting raises, there's wage push inflation. You're going to actually start seeing production go to Cambodia, Vietnam, and other countries. But what were you going to say, Russell?
It's expensive relative. They're just growing, but they're very much like us. You know, we're only 230 years old, and look at where we've come, and they're right there with you.
They're right there behind us.
Well, they've got major stumbling blocks. They're still a communist nation.
Yes, yes.
So they've got their own
hurdles
challenges.
to get over.
They have some hurdles.
Well, what about small business, Mitch?
Small business in China is a growing thing, but obviously we're talking about small business here. I see so many people starting up small businesses here. It's very encouraging. But I also see a lot of small businesses holding on to their cash. A lot of the companies who've told me, my business owner clients have told me that things are really good improving for 2009, had a great year. First quarter, 2010. But I'm getting the sense from a lot of people that things are starting to slow down a little bit. The consumer's starting to hold back a little bit. And as far as what they want to do for spending, it all comes down to if they could buy some kind of technology to improve their efficiency, that's about the only thing that they're going to spend money on.